Rock music.
I don't know if I like this game or I hate it.
Get away from me, you mangy animal! Good God!
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Scythus and Tignrot starting a new series of Hitman Absolution. This was actually a request a long time ago by Resort Obi, but at the time I didn't actually have the game and I didn't have any means to record it. I nabbed this when it was actually a free gold game. I was very surprised that it actually showed up one day just randomly when I signed on, and I nabbed it right away. I've actually played through this game maybe 2 or 3 times now. It's fantastic game. You know, for a stealth nut like me, it's kind of similar to the more recent Splinter Cell games. Also really reminds me of like actually the old Mission Impossible 64, and we'll get into all of that stuff. But right now I just want to explain the politics right now as far as this series is concerned. I'm going to be trying out a couple new things as far as interaction with all of you and the episodes themselves, and you know, I'll figure all of that stuff out. I am going to be recording this entire series before I actually start uploading. Don't let that dissuade you from your comments and stuff like that, but it's like if you want to, you know, try and say, oh, you could go to the left here and you could find a secret weapon and stuff. It's not like I can actually do it on camera, but it is good to leave that stuff in the comments for anyone that actually watches the video and then reads that later. You know, plus it helps me out just in general and stuff like that. Unfortunately, because of all the recent copyright issues and stuff going on with YouTube, we are going to be skipping the cutscenes. Another thing too is I am going to have, like I probably will have already had it on this video, is a warning, because there are going to be, this game is a little bit violent and it does drop a little bit of F-bomb every now and then. It's a little bit weird when it comes up, but it does do it, and I can't be bothered to censor it because it's so kind of up and down and stuff like that. But us cutting out the cutscenes is going to take care of a lot of that stuff, so don't worry about it. But I'm just saying that for a lot of my younger subscribers. But either way, that's that. I've explained too much. Let's roll. I like how the subtitle shows like the thing. I'm gonna just be talking over her actually, because right now none of it's particularly important. It's just trying to give us the, you know, the description of here's how the game plays and stuff like that. We came in an ice cream truck. I don't know if that's going to be a hint to the other games. I actually have never played any of the other Hitman games. One of the things that, I mean, this game's just fantastic, by the way. I wonder if the other games were like that too. But you can actually move the camera left and right, so that's already, like, left and right of your character. That's always fantastic to have in third-person games. You can just press back to go to your, you know, mission select and stuff like that. But we don't technically need to ever do that. Left bumper is running, right stick is crouched and stuff like that. You can run while crouched. It's been a couple days since I played, so I'm going to have to try and get a little bit more used to the controls here. But either way, I kind of have a pretty good idea of how the game actually operates, and I just like screwing around. This game's actually a lot of fun for it, so we can distract this guard right now and give him a brick to the back of the head. That's not what we're actually supposed to do, and the instruction lady's scolding us for it, but that's kind of the thing. That's what I'm going to do with this series. Like, this game's already been out long enough. There's walkthroughs up. There's walkthroughs like crazy. So I definitely don't need to technically, like, present this as a walkthrough or anything. But I still want to, like, I'm taking the opportunity because I want to just, you know, just have a lot of fun and just screw around. Because, like I said, I've played through this game like 2 or 3 times already. It's actually a phenomenal game. Like, I really have had a lot of fun with it. The game kind of follows the same theme. Like, what we're doing right now is very similar to what you end up doing in the last level. The later levels of the game, you're just fighting, like, harder and more intelligent enemies, of course. But, one of the things that I do think is huge about this game, I just gotta say, sneak attack. Didn't expect that one. Is... like, one thing that this game does extremely well that most games don't even tackle is the fact that, and you'll see it when we actually get up to them in boss fights, is that a boss fight is just like that. Like, it's like, if you can sneak up on the boss, you can kill them just as easily as any enemy in the game. There's no stupid health meter or anything like that. You know, there's a couple instances where there's like maybe a quick time event or something like that, but all in all, like, extremely well designed. You know, even just the fact that like taking cover works just like you'd expect. You can sneak up on enemies. It's got really good stealth aspects to the game. You know, it's just an overall really good game, I gotta say. And the controls feel nice and tight. And the good thing, now here's the thing too, with our kind of rope thing, what do they call it in this game? Oh, it doesn't say what it's called. I don't know what it's called, but when we're carrying that, the advantage to using it is just that you'll instantly grab an enemy and start dragging them right away, as opposed to like some of the other, like as you see with the other weapons and stuff, you just kind of knock them out and nothing really happens, and that's that. But either way, woohoo! Didn't expect that one, did you guys? He clings to cover around corners and stuff. Very well designed, very beautiful game too. I have the subtitles on also, by the way. That's just in case, like, if anyone wants to actually know what the characters are saying over me talking, then you can just go right ahead and, well, there you go, right? Come here. Come here. Yeah! Take the Bible. Oh, I don't know why we did that. I love this too. It's been such a long time. Not many games do that anymore, where your character will actually grab a body and drag them physically. Like, that's actually a great feature that this game has, I think, that a lot of games nowadays don't even have. Like, especially stealth games and stuff have kind of dropped that as a feature. Now, what I like doing in this level is just killing everyone. That's what I do. That's how I play. Sneak attack. Now, this spot is really tricky, but if you do it proper, see, if we take him out, that other guard over there, normally this guard and the other guards start talking to one another, but if we take this guy out, it takes him a little bit longer to activate than it normally would. And in fact, I don't think he comes around anymore, so we can technically sneak up on him. But I just love playing this game like this. I love playing aggressive. You know, it does reward you for stealthing through the level without, you know, anybody noticing you and stuff. But it also, like, gives you rewards for doing the whole level in your suit and stuff like that, which I'm not particularly going for that. We are going to end up going into disguise in this next area here. But one of the things that I think is just absolutely awesome about this game that beats the crap out of most every modern game nowadays is, what is this, Metal Gear Revengeance with that watermelon? But the fact that they give you the option, that is a big thing. Seriously, that is huge. Watch this. Hey, buddy, see you later. Woohoo! But the fact that they give you the option to stealth through a level or kill all of them, and it just, like, you'll see what happens a little bit later on in this level. They kind of try to explain it a little bit. I'll talk more about it later. But right now I'll talk about the fact that we are in disguise right now. If we have our knife out, guards and stuff will notice us. That's why it says visibly armed. But as far as right now, we're in disguise, and the way that this game works is kind of a rock, paper, scissors system, where right now, that dude right there, he is a gardener. We are in a gardener disguise. The other gardeners will start to recognize us if we are in the open for too long, but the guards won't recognize us at all. They don't even care about us anymore because we're a gardener. So it kind of works like that. But, so how do we get past them? We hold right bumper and we start draining our instinct like this. And when you're using your instinct, you can pretty much sneak past guards like it's nothing. Sneak past guards, sneak past anyone that would actually notice you normally. But like right there, you can see there's a dude over in the distance that's noticing us. You just use your instinct, which also a cool feature is that it shows that little fire is where this guy's going. So you can really use it to your advantage strategically in some of the later levels to try and figure out enemy pathfinding and stuff like that. Incredibly designed game. Now, if we turn on this water valve, because there's two guards over there that are talking, and they don't actually want to leave, they're jerks, they don't want to go away. So what we do is we just do that, we do distractions like that in other levels too, and that'll actually get them out of our face. and you know, really cool. But now, see, now this next area that we're in is trespassing because the gardeners can't technically go here while the guards can. So you can kill both those dudes, but I would recommend to just sneak past, and whenever that right bumper question mark shows up, it's trying to teach you what to do. There are spots like this, which are very few and far in between, but they do it right, where it's like they only add to the level design, because what we're doing right now, this is the tutorial level, so it doesn't really matter, there's only one way through, but when you get to the later levels, there's actually multiple routes through thing. Hey, get out of here! Oh, that's a move I missed from Splinter Cell. You know what? This guy can go down. Yeah! Knife him! Oh, isn't that great? And see, with guards, too, this is another thing that happens later, too, is, first of all, I want to drag him over around the corner just for kicks, but you can actually disguise yourself in a dude's clothes, so that is great. Now, these little checkpoints you can only activate once. They save your progress as far as the level is concerned, and then that's it. Then there's no more. I'm going to grab this guy's gun just for kicks. Now, there's different tiers of armor, too, or clothes, or disguises, or whatever. Now that we're this security guard, we can actually walk around with a gun, and it doesn't consider us visibly armed. It is not inconspicuous in any way, shape, or form. Evidence is just the collectible, so it doesn't really matter, and that disguise is just the disguise we're rocking right now. Now, we use this disguise to go into the mansion a little bit more, and once we enter this area, it starts activating the actual, like, point system that is throughout the whole game. Now, the point system, one of the things that I'm going to say right off the hop, if it is your first time playing through this game, just ignore it, just tune it out, just don't even worry about it, straight up, because like straight up, if you're sitting there concerned about your points, you're not gonna have a good time, because pretty much everything in this game will actually lower like your points. So unless you're doing an incredible job like getting through the level stealthy and stuff like that, which can take a few tries if you don't know what you're doing, especially because this game works with checkpoints rather than saves. And we're waiting right here to steal Mario's costume, by the way. But seriously, man, just ignore it. I've ignored it the whole game, and it's been a lot of fun, because even killing guards and stuff like that minuses your points, so screw it, man. But it's like, that's where there's a lot of really cool things about this game, you know. Even right here, they have a little conversation going on, and, you know, that dude leaves and whatever, and then, now that he's gone, what's up, Mario? This is the way that you subdue someone, but it takes a long time, so you can snap their neck instead. And that kind of, well, the problem is that it kills them right away. Now, if you knock somebody out and then put them back into, like, if you hide the body, then it gives you 100 points back. So you can use that to get yourself back to square one, but I just don't even bother. Now that we are the chef, however, where's his knife? Did he already drop it somewhere? I think he did. Give me that. Now, we're allowed to carry a knife. That's what we're allowed to carry, but we can't carry, like, guns and stuff like that. So it's kind of like you have to have the appropriate weaponry and whatever. Now, when we're this dude, we're hidden as hell. And this level's beautiful, by the way. It's totally awesome. All the levels are great. I love the fact that this game allows you to have choice because of that point system. It's actually awesome that they do have it, because with the point system, killing a guard will lower your points, but it's much better than giving you a game over and stuff like that, you know? So at least they give you the option to, like, kill a guard or anything like that. You can get through the whole game. Die! You can just get through the game any way that you like, really, you know? And that's one thing that I gotta say, that a lot of games these days, I mean, I know that this game's a little bit older now, a couple years old, but still, is it a couple years? I don't know how old it is. Either way, man. But now, if we grab these sleeping pills too, by the way, this is something that I actually only learned about right now, is that, and we'll do something else over there in a minute, is that if we use the sleeping pills, because they got really cool stuff like this in this game, If you use the sleeping pills, we should be able to put it in here, right? Oh. Maybe that would have been a way that we could have taken out the chef or something. I don't know. But see, that's what I mean. Like, there's so many different ways to tackle the mission in this game. Like, there'll be, like, a more complex route where you have to grab, like, sleeping pills and you'd have to put that somewhere in the level and yada, yada, yada. I don't particularly know or remember. Now, if we open those, it's going to end up sending one of the guards up here, so we'll have to deal with him in a minute. So, with that, let's get our disguise on again. Aha! We are an agency guard. This game, man. I just love it. Like, straight up. And if we grab a second gun here, we can actually get 2. Now, this guy coming up here is kind of a high-class guard type of dude, so he will recognize us in this costume. Yeah, that's what I'll call them, costumes. If we're not careful, you can just use your instinct to get rid of them, you know. And if you end up, like, later on, there will be spots where you can, like, hide. Like, if you're a cop and you want to, and you hide, like, in plain sight, they have hiding spots in plain sight where, say, we would get, like, donuts or something like that, and your guy's sitting there eating donuts, and we would be regenning our, you know, instinct ability while we're there and stuff. Now, you can only store 2 guards in there. That's what the game's trying to tell us, because normally we can actually hide in those areas and stuff, but yeah, it's not really important. I mean, if you start getting people following you and stuff like that, then for sure you do want to be hiding and stuff, but otherwise it isn't really particularly important. Now, I think also you can shoot out most of these, like, pots and pans and stuff like that, but right here, as far as I know, I think we're actually going to run into one of our first cutscenes, so I'm going to have to get rid of that. Another thing I remember when I first started playing this game that I thought was so cool is just these. You know, these beads, they're so cool. And if you get the camera right up close to them, you can see that they're actually just a flat object, but they have physics tied to them. So really cool way of doing things that doesn't take that much resources while it's actually there, you know? Cutscene, get out of here. Alright, and now we are our cool, badass, bald assassin dude. And we have our guns, which these guns get taken away from us, unfortunately, for a little bit. And then we end up getting them back, and when you do get them back, holy crap, it is huge, because with these guns, like, a silenced pistol is actually great in this game, because if you don't have a silenced gun, your only means of silently killing someone is to sneak up behind them and kill them, or, like get really close to them and kill them, or you'll have to end up using, like, a chandelier or some kind of a special item that's around in the level or something like that, you know? But as for right here, now this is one of the most badass things ever. Totally stolen from Splinter Cell, but I love it. You know, it's great. It's cool. Don't worry about it. Now, if we actually go into our instinct and then we press X, now we're standing up right now. We look at the enemy, press right trigger. It takes a little bit of instinct each time, and then it's like mark and execute. Bam, bam, bam! Yeah! Beautiful! And you can actually press B to skip it too, which kind of skips it. It just kind of skims by it really fast, which I would recommend if you're trying to go for points and stuff like that, because it's quicker and there's a little bit of finickiness where guards will actually detect you while you're doing that, and just, yeah. But either way, so awesome. That move can help you out of almost any jam if you have enough instinct to do it. Is this already the end of the level? Oh, yes, it was. Okay, well, anyway, here's all our points and all the coolness. As you're playing through the game, you will normally be unlocking certain abilities, which they don't really help that much, but it's kind of like showing your progress. Like it'll be like, oh, you have 2% more sprinting speed and stuff like that. Like right now, we already have weapon handling 1, which doesn't really help out that much. Like none of those abilities help. So for the convenience of this series, I'm actually just loading the levels or selecting the levels, because this game actually allows you to replay the levels, and it replays them from square one. There's no advantages whatsoever except for those small little perks, but otherwise they're not that important. Now, you can see with all the skill points and stuff right here, I'm probably not going to be mentioning this every episode. This is just the first episode, so I'm kind of in tutorial mode right now rather than screwing around. But you see, like, you know, the non-target casualties. Like, the only person that was kind of a target was that one dude that had the key card. Otherwise, you know, the guy that was in the Men in Black suit. Otherwise, all the other people we killed, we didn't technically have to kill them. So, you know, that's kind of how the game goes, where you can actually get through most of it without killing anyone. I mean, you do have to kill people because that's the name of the game. You know, you are a hitman. But non-target casualties, blah, 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 evidence removed, bodies hidden, so on and so forth. And then there's this screen, which this is a little bit confusing because it kind of just shows you a picture and then tells you, like that one in the bottom left, chameleon. I don't even know what that means. And suit only, I only understand that it must mean to go through the whole level with just your suit, right? But I've already actually done that in a level and it still didn't give it to me. So I don't know what those are. These are just kind of bonus objectives and stuff. I usually go for all the top ones because those are just finding all of the weapons and different costumes. Oh, there's an axe in this level I didn't find. And the fire poker, that's by the fire. That's right, I never got that. Didn't get the hammer this playthrough either. There's the sleeping pills, radio. It can get a little bit tedious though, because like that radio right there, we already saw that in the kitchen. I could have grabbed that and then it would have unlocked that and given us like a kind of extra points type of thing. Nothing really. It doesn't really matter that much. It's not mandatory or anything. But it gets a bit confusing because sometimes you'll go to the next level and if you're playing like levels in rapid succession, you'll go to the next level, you'll see a radio, and at least for me anyway, it'll be like, oh, I already picked up a radio. But that was actually in the last level, so that kind of screws me over quite a bit. But anyway, that's going to be it for today's episode, everybody. That's the first introduction to Hitman. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you're going to enjoy this series, because this game's absolutely awesome. And I've been playing it a crap ton, so I figured why not actually play through the game now that I actually am very familiar with it. And I've got quite a few gimmicks and cool little things that I'm going to be trying out with this series and some of the later episodes that I hope you're all going to enjoy. Otherwise, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video. I really would appreciate it. And subscribe if you haven't already. Sign on. Stay epic, everybody. Your face.